B-Leaguers, how you going? It's your boy here, Dan, at the B-League Says, coming at you with another B-League Pick'em show for the GoingFor2 Live Network. A few more weeks to go. We're going to go right through the playoffs and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully, we'll see if we can keep going. We'll see if we can carry on. But for now, we're going to focus on Week 11's Thursday Night Football. For the NFC East, we're looking at the Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like this one's going to shape the NFC East completely. If the Washington Commanders win, you'd think that they are the ones that are going to take the East, and hey, who knows what happens from there. If Philly at home can catch them this week, who's going to stop Philly at this point? I think they've got they're the only team that could be 7-2 and still hate their coach. It's the most mind-blowing thing ever. Either way, we're going to look at some underdog pick and props, underdog fantasy promo code GF2 for a 100% match deposit up to 250 big ones on your initial outlay. It's week 11, so how many of you are left? I don't friggin' know, but we're going to kick on anyway and talk about our favorite 3 props for the week off the Thursday Night Football matchup of the Commanders at Eagles. Thanks for sticking by and sticking with. We're going to go pick number 1. We're going to go the low-hanging fruit. We're going to go Jalen Hurts higher than half a rushing or receiving touchdown, probably a rushing touchdown. I don't think he's going to receive one. That's neither here nor there. Look, he's gone 6 in his last 3 and going at home basically at 1 a game for 10 for the year. He's got 10 rushing touchdowns for the year. They played 9 or so games, so he's really crushing it on the ground. It doesn't really matter. They'll get down to the Washington 5 often enough at home, and I can't see him not getting a few shots off on them on the ground. When you have Saquon Barkley down there, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith, you've got enough weapons of them. It's hard to focus on that, let alone Hurts behind the line and being able to scoot away for a couple, and that's basically where he is. The risk is always Saquon Barkley poaching, but they've proven very well this year that they can coexist extremely well, which is tough for a Giants fan to watch sitting back there. But, I'd rather the 40 million. That's just me. But the reality is there's going to be enough for both of them to get by and get going. Washington, though, however, it's worth noting. It's something you got to see. They have only allowed the 1 rushing touchdown to quarterbacks this year. So that's something, right? So we got, 9 games in, 1 rushing touchdown to quarterbacks. It's kind of impressive. But within the familiarity of a divisional rival, Jalen Hurts has crossed over for 5 rushing touchdowns against the Commanders in his career. So he's done it often and frequently against them enough to feel confident, knowing that he's going to be the one taking them to the house pretty much. I feel pretty good about Philly this week. Pick number 2, we're going to go to another Eagle. And again, remember last week I spoke about Nico Collins and his injury and how that could be a problem being repeated and all that sort of stuff. And then obviously Nico didn't actually play. And I reaffirm my belief about Nico. I'm going to talk about him for the Sunday slate, or the Monday slate. They play Dallas. It's neither here nor there. But we're going to talk about Dallas Goedert, who's obviously just come back off the IR for Philly. He had that hamstring problem, I think, if I can't remember. We're going to go lower than 3.5 receptions and lower than 31.5 receiving yards. Look, he came back from the IR this week, had a shortened day when Philly pretty much wiped the floor with Dallas. Let's call it what it was. It was a disgraceful outing from the Cowboys, and Philly absolutely cleaned them up, towed them up, and it was worth them benching pretty much their whole squad. For the fourth quarter, halfway through the third, fourth quarter, the game was over, and they said, "No, we've got the short game on Thursday. We're going to rest our guys." And Kenny Pickett, in you get. Greg Calcaterra, back you go. Kenneth Gainwell, in you get. This is the sort of day that Philly had. They were able to get away with that sort of stuff. And, with a short week, it makes sense to protect Goddard in his return. Lowest snap share since he got hurt, so 63%. Look, I'm not saying either line is attainable, but he did manage 2 for 25 in that time, so he's more than capable of going over 3.5 receptions, 31.5 receiving yards. Look, it's just one of those things where I'm concerned, as always, with hamstring injuries and load management. Post-recovery, the short week might not be ideal. Talk to me about it after this week. Get Dallas Goedert hitting his stride and all that sort of stuff when he gets another 10 days off from Thursday to the following Sunday. Talk to me about him playing back to his peak if he can get through this week unscathed. I am a little concerned that a guy like that, who was pulled halfway through a game, who's had injuries, I'm worried that he's not going to get to where we want to go. I feel better about him going under or lower than 3.5 receptions than I'll do 31 receiving yards. He could probably get that in 1 or 2. So the 3.5 receptions, I feel better about going lower there. Speaking about feeling pretty good about going on someone at the moment, pick number 3 is going to be Terry McLaurin. We're going to go higher than 61.5 receiving yards and higher than 4.5 receptions. I feel like this is a gimme here. Sounds weird to say because in general, teams don't normally get over on their division rivals as easy as possible. It's just not They play each other tough. They're very familiar. They know the coaching schemes. They know the players. It's very repetitive in that regard. And we've seen with McLaurin recently with record, say the Giants, it's not really good against the Giants. His last 4 outings against New York kind of sucked. And they know him so well. They know his game. It doesn't matter the quarterback. They know his game so well. He's barely gone over 20, 30 yards in that point. That can happen when you play the same people over and over again. However, he finds success against Philly fairly frequently. He's managed fewer than 5 receptions versus the Eagles once in his career. Back in 2021, he had like 2 or 3. So he's only done that once in his period of time, which is incredible. Over a 10-game span, he's hit 6 or more in 50% of those matchups. He's also hit 60 yards or more in 8 of those 10 games and over 85 yards in 5 of those 10 games as well. So this isn't so much what the Eagles could do. Look, the Eagles know how to shut anyone down. I think this will be more of a funnel through McLaurin. He's going to get there based on volume, and they're going to feed him the ball. So I feel pretty good about 4.5 receptions and 61.5 yards. I think he's going to absolutely towel that up. They are my 3 picks for Thursday Night Football's Commanders-Eagles game for Going42 Live. Come find us on our free Discord. It's fantastic. Come see us over there. We're going to wrap this up very quickly, but for Going42 Live, I am Dan at the B-League Says. Get your promo code GF2 for Underdog Fantasy. Promo code GF2 for 100% match your deposit up to 250 big ones on your initial outlay. And away we go. Pick number 1, Jalen Hurts. Higher than half a rushing receiving touchdown. Pick number 2, Dallas Goedert. Got it. Lower than 3.5 receptions. Lower than 31.5 receiving yards. And pick number 3, Terry McLaurin. Higher than 61.5 receiving yards or higher than 4.5 receptions. Wherever you feel like you're more comfortable with. I feel pretty confident in both. Thanks for staying with me. Safe bets, happy punts, cheers, and goodbye.